You stand at a crossroads today. One path whispers of comfort, leniency, staying just enough to survive another sunrise. The other thunder roars with discipline, demanding your full presence, your relentless commitment, your unwavering grit, and takes you to a life you once dared not imagine. This is not melodrama. This is reality. Every sunrise asks the same question. Will you rise to the occasion or slip back into the margins? From Edison's 1,000 failed attempts before that incandescent breakthrough, to Lincoln's endless defeats before he found the voice to unite a nation, discipline was their silent companion, the thing that didn't celebrate with them, but stood firm through every dark hour. You know, the world doesn't honor raw talent. It responds to tireless repetition. It bows to unshakable commitment. It kneels before relentless effort. In the quiet hours when no one is watching, that's where you're made or broken. That's where a single decision to stay on track, lift when there's no energy left, repeat the routine everyone else gave up on, becomes the moment that shifts your identity. And your identity will define the results you attract. You may want to feel like a lion, but until you feed like one, discipline makes no sense. When hunger for your own greatness outpaces your craving for comfort, you've already won, because discipline is not a box to check. It's the lion's roar that echoes every time you choose growth over rest. To conquer life, you must conquer your habits. You must become the architect of your own daily actions. Every morning you wake before sunrise. Every moment you choose a book over a screen. Every hour you dedicate to mastery. These aren't sacrifices, they are investments. And they compound. The markets compound. Your body compounds. Your relationships compound. But most importantly, your character compounds. Until one day you're not playing for one win, you've already built a system that wins daily. Without clarity, discipline won't flourish. Henry Ford said, "Whether you think you can or you think you can't, discipline without belief is dust in the wind." Believe you deserve greatness. Know your purpose. Then let discipline bridge the gap between thought and reality. Clear vision plus unwavering routine equals victory. Every moment you feel tired, ask, am I tired, or am I tired of my dreams? Because fatigue visits all who pursue greatness, but the disciplined learn its secret. It's temporary. Temporary physical pain can birth lifelong strength. Temporary discomfort can plant seeds of unbreakable identity. Temporary struggle is the price tag of excellence. When fear knocks, discipline opens the door but doesn't invite it in. Fear may ask, what if I fail? Discipline answers, so what if I do? I will rise again. Thomas Edison said, I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. In a world that worships winners, find comfort in the refusal to quit. The disciplined don't simply chase success. They fail until they succeed. Discipline isn't about isolation. It's about alignment. Align your actions with your vision. When you wake with intention. When you eat for fuel. When you speak with conviction. Every micro decision is a vote for who you become. The disciplined live in harmony with their highest self every hour, every day, relentlessly. If this message resonates, if you feel that spark deep in your soul, hit subscribe and ring the bell. Join me here, where every week we turn timeless principles into modern action. Let's build discipline together, not just for today, but for a lifetime of victories that echo beyond our wildest dreams. Discipline demands sacrifice. It demands trust that hard days are building deeper strength within you. It demands courage to walk the lonely path, knowing the view from the top is worth every step you didn't take on the crowded plateau. The world will offer shortcuts. It will whisper that your time isn't now, that you'll start tomorrow. But the disciplines say, no. They say, my tomorrow starts today. They show up when inspiration isn't around. They work when hope fades. They commit when everybody else quits. Challenges will come. Betrayal, heartbreak, defeat, doubt. But discipline is your anchor when storms rage. It's your compass when the path splits. It's the silent force that carries you through the valley and propels you over the peak. See the wisdom in history. Carnegie didn't tolerate penniless thinking. He refused to be robbed of his potential. Disney didn't tolerate rejection. He refused to be silenced by those who couldn't see his dream. Lincoln didn't tolerate fear. He endured through every trial because he believed a nation's future depended on him. These titans lived disciplined lives and redefined what's possible for all of us. Discipline is also generosity. It gives you capacity. Capacity to love deeper, to lead stronger. Because only when your inner world is ordered can you extend order into your relationships, your work, your legacy. To live disciplined is to live free. Free from rash emotion, free from self-sabotage, free from regret. You might think discipline is imprisonment, but it is liberation. It lets you write your own script. It lets you sculpt your own destiny. Pause, breathe, center your focus. See yourself walking across a stage, accepting your highest self. Feel the thunder of applause, not from others, but from your own soul. That moment belongs to the disciplined, because they stood alone when no one was watching, so they were ready when everyone finally saw. And know this, your calling is sacred. Your why is infinite. Your potential is stretching just beyond your current horizon. You are not average, you are evolving. You are not concealed, you are unfolding. You are not static, you are legacy in motion. Now mark this line in your spirit. Discipline isn't optional. It's the price of greatness. You choose it, or you are chosen by collapse. There is no neutrality in the realm of your purpose. Let your mind commit. I will show up every day, even when tired, even when uncertain, even when no one else believes. Discipline honors the dream your soul declared before you were born. Now walk forward. Step into each dawn knowing you carry within a power that surpasses talent because you've cultivated in the crucible of consistency. You carry a legacy yet written, seeded by the smallest acts of discipline. You are forging your future moment by moment. Consider today your first chapter, written in sweat, patience, discipline, courage. From here on, with every dawn you rise, you decide who you will be. You decide whether you crumble or conquer. You decide whether you are merely surviving or unshakably thriving. So step into the day as the lion you are. Feed the fire with structure. Forge your character with sacrifice. Build your empire on discipline. Because the world doesn't need more followers. It needs more disciplined giants who refuse to be destroyed. Let's get something straight. The most dangerous thing in the world is a man or woman with no structure, no plan, no code. That person is a slave to emotion, a prisoner of distraction. One gust of wind and they collapse like a house of cards. But the disciplined, they are the storm shelters. They don't flinch when chaos roars. They don't fold when the pressure climbs. They respond, they adapt, they lead. Discipline is the iron rod that shapes the mind. It chisels away excuses until all that's left is truth. It doesn't care how you feel today. It cares what you build over time. It doesn't care about your motivation. It builds systems that don't rely on it. It's why soldiers rise before dawn. Why entrepreneurs grind through setbacks. Why champions train in silence. Because there is no glory without repetition. There is no greatness without routine. And the person who masters their routine masters the outcome. Wake up and declare, today I serve my future self. Serve the version of you that will one day look back and say, thank God I didn't quit. You are not living for the dopamine of the moment. You're building momentum. You are constructing habits so powerful that success becomes a byproduct. Don't seek easy. Seek progress. Don't seek permission. Seek purpose. The world is filled with talent that stayed asleep, with ideas that died because someone couldn't tolerate discomfort long enough to make them real. But you must be the exception. You must become intolerant of mediocrity, intolerant of delay, intolerant of all the thoughts that whisper, just take a break, you've done enough. Because discipline doesn't lie. It's the scoreboard no one can fake. You either showed up or you didn't. You either built the muscle or you let it waste away. You either moved forward or stayed behind. And the beauty? You're in control of it. Fully. The same man who wakes up at 5 a.m. every day didn't start with motivation. He started with a decision, a non-negotiable, a standard, not a wish, a command. If your life doesn't feel like it's yours, look at your standards. You'll never rise above what you're willing to tolerate. And most people, they tolerate too much chaos, too many distractions, too many days off from their own potential. They think rest is a reward, but when it's premature, it's a thief. Stop negotiating with weakness. You don't have time to delay destiny. You don't have the luxury of letting today slip away. Not when tomorrow is being written on what you do right now. The disciplined know, if you waste the present, you rob the future. And that theft is permanent. Let your mornings be sacred. Let your words be intentional. Let your goals live on paper and then on your calendar. You weren't designed to drift. You were born to direct. Your mind is the steering wheel, but discipline is the fuel. If this message is resonating with you, if something inside you is waking up, don't keep this to yourself. Subscribe to Mastermind's Motivations. We release 3 powerful videos every week, each crafted to rewire your mindset, sharpen your vision, and push you further than yesterday. Don't just consume inspiration. Commit to transformation, because the journey to greatness begins with a single step. And sometimes, that step is clicking subscribe. Now breathe, reset, and return to your mission. Because here's the truth that broke men ignore. Discipline is more loving than indulgence. When you love yourself, you don't let yourself decay. You push, you structure, you discipline. Because you're protecting something sacred, your potential. Discipline is the bodyguard of your legacy. You want wealth? Learn to delay pleasure. You want clarity? Learn to silence noise. You want love that lasts? Be someone worthy of that love through your actions, not your hopes. You want influence? Earn it through discipline, through reputation, through consistency. Let the world say, that man, that woman, they are solid. You can count on them. You can feel their presence. You can trust their word. That kind of respect isn't bought. It's built. And let's not pretend this is easy. This is war. A daily war between who you are and who you're becoming. Between your lower self and your higher self. Between the version of you that hits snooze and the one that gets up to face the fire. You'll win some days. You'll lose some. But if you keep showing up, you'll win the war. And once you get a taste of what discipline creates, you'll never want comfort again. Comfort becomes boring. Discipline becomes freedom. You'll realize that true confidence doesn't come from praise. It comes from process. From doing what needs to be done, whether anyone notices or not. And when you've built yourself in the dark, the light will never blind you. That's when the world starts to feel it. That quiet power, that unshakable energy, that presence that says, I've been through the fire and I brought back light. People will ask how you did it. They'll want your blueprint, but they won't see the lonely nights, the early mornings, the battles inside your mind. And that's fine, because you didn't do it for them. You did it for the person in the mirror. And you'll look at that person one day and say, we kept going. We didn't fold. We built this. That is power. That is legacy. That is the reward of discipline. There is a moment in every journey where the path disappears, where the vision goes dim, where the pain outweighs the progress. And most people turn back. They call it burnout or bad timing or a sign from the universe. But the truth? It's a test of resolve, a test of belief, a test of whether you truly want what you say you want, or if your desire was just decoration, a fantasy dressed up as a goal. The most successful people you admire, they walked through that darkness. Edison failed 10,000 times before the light bulb stayed lit. Disney was rejected hundreds of times before anyone believed in his vision. Lincoln lost election after election before history called him great. But they weren't chasing applause. They were anchored to purpose. And when you're anchored, storms don't move you. They forge you. You become more than just someone chasing success. You become a force. You become the kind of person that others rely on. The kind of person who commands respect without saying a word. Because your life is the proof. Your habits are the evidence. Your you will never change your life until you change your standards. And you will never change your standards until you raise what you refuse to tolerate. Tolerate clutter, and you'll live in chaos. Tolerate disrespect, and people will treat you small. Tolerate procrastination, and your dreams will rot in the someday pile. Tolerate mediocrity, and you'll never taste greatness. But when you become ruthless about what you allow, when you demand more from yourself than anyone else ever will, when you stop justifying delay and start building legacy, that's when life changes. And here's the secret no one tells you. Success is not some mountaintop that only a few elite climb. Success is what happens when you do what you said you'd do, over and over and over again, long after the mood has faded, long after the applause has stopped. It's quiet, it's brutal, it's lonely, but it's worth it. Because one day, you'll look around and realize you didn't just build wealth. You didn't just build status. You built yourself. A self that no circumstance can break. A self that can be trusted, respected, and remembered. And in a world full of noise, likes, and empty validation, that kind of person is rare. That kind of person is legendary. So don't wait. Don't flinch. Don't fold. Hold the line. Sharpen your sword. Guard your standards. Show up when no one else does. And when people ask you how you did it, you won't need to explain. You'll just smile, because the results will speak louder than your words ever could. You are not average. You were never meant to be. The world told you to settle, but your soul still screams for more. So don't silence that fire. Feed it. Hit that subscribe button on Mastermind's Motivations. Share this video with someone who's ready to rise. Leave a comment below, not just to engage, but to declare who you're becoming. Because this isn't just another motivational video. This is the beginning of a transformation. And remember, what you tolerate, you become. So raise your standards. Raise your voice. Raise your life. And keep watching. Keep rising. You are not done yet.